Hello, everyone.
Hi.
My good friends. And my Lalit, how are you?
I'm doing very fine, and I'm glad that you told me that you're feeling better every day. I'm glad to hear that.
Every day. Thank you so
Well,
much.
every day in every way, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Mickey Montoya wins the cookie, a brand new name at the top of the mountain.
Nikki Montoya.
Mickey, yeah. So we've got Bora Bora here. Hello,
She was here last week because I remember wanting to ask her if she was a musician.
Oh, well, are you a musician, Mickey?
She has the famous last name.
Yes, Montoya. We've got CJ in the house. And oh, Bora Bora, thank you so much. Please like and subscribe. And we've got hello, everyone, from Charlie C. Sage of Fire. And there was SR Kush. Yay, looking forward to tonight's show. Thank you so much, Rose. Maureen is here, Mary Thornberry, Lauren. Oh, everybody's coming in. Monica. Oh, thank you so much for coming in. It's been a wonderful week. For me, I hope it has been for you. S. Steele is here. Good evening. I love that when she says ladies. She's calling us a lady. I should have worn my gloves. Thank you very much. I always choke up when people say that. Oh, everyone, it's so nice. Oh, you left a message at 9 this morning, Maureen? I don't, could you, I don't know where you might have left it. So would you mind rewriting your message? And I'll put you up first. But of course, Mickey Montoya can ask a question. She can go first as well, along with anyone who does a donation, which would be lovely. Now, first, as you all know, the first part of this show is all about astrology, Lalit's view about the upcoming energies of the week. And then we'll do as many readings as we can to round out the hour. So are you ready, Lalit?
Yes, I'm ready.
I'm glad, because we are too.
Okay. All right. So here we go. And so if you are new to our weekly show, I'd like to welcome you and you're joining a really wonderful community of fabulous people. You'll love everyone that you meet here. And we do start, as Debra just mentioned, always with a little introduction to the weekly astrological energies. And that's supposed to be our focus for the first 20 minutes. Then we get into individual readings. But, astrology doesn't necessarily box itself into tidy little categories that correspond to the human week. So sometimes to get a clear perspective, we need to look a little to the past, a little to the future to get a perspective of what's really happening. And many of the aspects that we were talking about last week are still in effect. So if you are new to the show, you might want to catch up on the last couple of broadcasts to get a clearer idea of some of the things that because we don't have time to repeat stuff here. If we're just doing 20 minutes, we don't do a lot of repeating. So if you might want to check out the astrology of the last couple of meetings to get up to speed. But I am going to repeat a couple of things that are still active with us today. Because there are three major things that happen at the beginning of this month, the first part of the month. We had Mercury slowing down. It stationed and went direct opposite to Pluto, and it's still there now because it went retro. It went station direct, and it's still in that Pluto Mercury opposition, which, as we mentioned, and this is true for everyone here, is very sharp in intuition skills and in their psychic abilities. And that is, Mercury and Pluto is a real thinning of the veil to speak to the other side, to your higher self, to to spirits, to your spirit guides, to everyone on the other side of the veil. The communication is opening and you're receiving creative downloads. And let's see if I can get the chart of today called up. We're going to be talking about the first eclipse, and we're going to talk a little bit about the full moon that we just had. Let's see if I can change the wheel. We are going to I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. Just get that wheel. It's not coming up there. Well, it'll take me. I'll get that in a minute. Anyway, this is what you're looking at is the eclipse. We're going to get to that in a minute. So we had them also the Mars-Saturn opposition that was happening just a few days ago, and it is exact then, and it's still in effect now. And that can lead to some unusual things because the energy is hot and cold and really strong in push me, pull you in some exaggerated forces that are pulling one way and then pulling another way. That's completely a topsy-turvy sort of Mr. Toad's wild ride of surprises. And we throw in some mix with the sign of Leo, which can be playful. And we have Neptune and Saturn. So we've got psychic energies really exploding. And I wanted to give you a personal example of one that happened to me that was so weird. And I was really surprised by it. And it's the kind of energy that can happen now because we have the Leo creative and playful, and we have Mars and Pluto, and we have Mercury, and we have Saturn and Neptune. So everything is very much in the psychic realm, really strong. So what happened to me was really weird, and I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but just so that you can see how the conversations with the other side of the veil are maybe different than they have ever been for you, because I never had an experience exactly like this. So things are changing because our energies are getting stronger and more perfected. But this was kind of a playful energy in a weird way. Yesterday, I had to do some forms on the computer, and they were really important, and there was a deadline, so I went to turn on my computer and the mouse was gone. And I have a mouse that looks like this. It's not wired, it's wireless, so the cats don't play with it. They couldn't get this in their mouth. It's kind of heavy and carried, and there's no wire. They have never ever been interested in that. So it disappeared, and I knew that they didn't play with it, and I had to do this. So I went to St. Anthony, who's my go-to, and I really made a strong plea. Help me now. I really have this important job on the computer. I can't find the mouse anywhere. I had looked everywhere. I scoured any place it could have fallen to on the floor or anywhere. I looked everywhere, but nowhere. So I said, St. Anthony, please help me. And I hear very clearly, and normally I don't hear words this clear, but the words were, the cats stole the mouse. The cats stole the mouse. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't even think that, because cats stealing a mouse, that's a first grade kind of idea that I wouldn't have thought of. I wouldn't have said that. I just wouldn't have said that. And my cats, I know they don't play with this mouse. They have never been interested in it. But since I didn't have any other guess, and I had to follow that, I said, well, if the cats stole the mouse, where would they put it? Well, I finally found it. And I found it inside of this. This is a cat bed, and it doesn't have an opening from the top. It has a little tiny opening on the side. Nothing could fall into this thing, and it was way in there. I took a picture. How to get in there? It wasn't anywhere near my computer area, and the cats could not have carried it in their mouth that far. So that was like a playful little joke on me. The cat stole the mouse, and I found it way inside of this thing. And it was weird, but it was like it was funny. It was very funny and amusing, and it did pick up my spirits a little bit. I thought, that is the weirdest thing. And it was funny that the cats stole the mouse. That I kept hearing it, so I had to go with that. And sure enough, there it was. How did it get there? I don't know. But you're going to have experiences. The experiences I have been having all the time, continuously, are downloads of creative type things. Because for me, I'm having this eclipse at the midheaven, which is career, and it's a big breakthrough for me, and I'm getting so many constant ideas. So I'm going to have some ideas for you how to best take advantage of this big time that's happening. So let's go back into the energies of the week. So be ready for some psychic events that are unexpected and unusual. Could be amusing, could be very helpful. All kinds of ways things are going to be happening for you. But okay, so we've had the beautiful Venus and Jupiter conjunction in Cancer. It just was perfect a few days ago, and it's still intense at this time. And at the same time that happened, Mercury went direct in opposition to Pluto. So this is why we have got an open door to the other side of communication, and you need to take advantage of it, because we're going to have some very important times, and you need to be thinking about your intentions. We're going to talk about that put a pin in that, because that's our idea for this session. So these aspects are still in effect here, and we also have that we talked about it last time, the double malefics. So malefics in quotes, the double benefics, those are in quotes, because those are not the way I like to call them, but people do. So, we're talking about that creates more intensity. Those are all in cardinal signs, new beginnings, new energies, the good and the bad, all at once. There's signs for beginning, and Uranus is another planet that is for new beginnings in Gemini, and everything's in the first degree or the first couple of degrees of a sign, because all the big planets have change sign. That never happens all at once like that. Nope. And a few are going to be going backwards and forwards to solidify their position and become, and this is so strong. And I know we're tired of hearing the word on the news. It's unprecedented. We're sick of hearing that word, but there's no other way to describe this, because it's really never happened like this before. So many things are changing. Now, our spiritual roots and our connection with Source, our communication with our higher self is really just coming up like a volcano. We are just changing at all levels, from personal contacts through the collective co-creation of the earth, all of us working together. And thank God there's a bunch of us on this side of the light bearers, because the momentum has shifted, and it's now going in the right direction. It's heading towards our spiritual future. Let's see. There's some other things I wanted to talk about. So many things in the first. So when the big planets are all at the beginning of the sign like that, that means they're all in aspect to each other, because they're forming geometric relationships if they're in the same spot. So if you're like 28, 29 degrees of one sign, or the beginning of the next sign, and everything is in that place spotted around the horoscope, they're all in a geometric relationship of power. And so there are many of this, we have sextiles happening now that are opportunities. And so you've got some big opportunities coming up. And so Mars in Libra is exact sextile to Mercury. And all of these give you opportunities for growth and things that are going to be wonderful. So to sum things up, there are important astrological indications that confirm the lyrics of the famous Bob Dylan song that just came to me as I was writing this up. There was an old song, if you're as old as I am, you'll remember it, that Bob Dylan sang, and he did, the times they are a-changing. So that's sort of the motto of this period, because it's new beginnings. And there are so many things that are pointing toward new beginnings. One is those conjunctions in cardinal signs. The other is the outer planets all changing sign at the same time. So I'm going back retrograde, but they're all in the same part of the sign. The first few degrees or the ending degrees are all together, and they're all in formation of geometry, which leads energy to those things. Uranus is in Gemini, where it's strong, and it's the tower force of change. Saturn is really strong, with Neptune building new structures in spirituality. So these pivotal degrees ramp up the power. Then we have the big one, the precession of the equinoxes, the age of Aquarius. Beginning, this is, like we've mentioned, 24,000, 28,000 year cycle. Doesn't happen every day. Okay, so these are so many things. Everything is happening at this time in a really strong way. So it's leading into the next eclipse, which is coming up, and we're starting to feel it. The end of the further we go in August, we're going to feel it really strong. But I want to give you a heads up, because this is where you really opened a portal to a new beginning in your life. The Pisces Virgo aspect, I'll just call up this, I'm going to show you this this chart now, the one I have up here. Hopefully all right, cancel. Okay, it canceled it. It brought me back to the other one. This is the one we were looking at last week, but you see that we've got a very strong Virgo influence. Let me get this. Let me see if I can get the one up that I just had. Yeah, okay. I got it, but it moved over. So what's happening is we have the Virgo Pisces axis activated. This means that the opposite forces of Virgo and Pisces will be the main axis of activity. And here it is. Let me just get the wheel different. All right, the wheel is different, but it's still, this is what I wanted to show you. So the sun is in 15 degrees of Virgo, and the moon is in 15 degrees of Pisces. So the axis is that of Virgo and Pisces in this eclipse, with all those things that we were just talking about around it. That makes it much more intense than usual. So when you think of the axis of Virgo and Pisces, and this is going to be for everybody, and if you have Virgo or Pisces in your chart in a particular way, it'll be more particular for you, but this will be affecting everyone. So think of the essence of the Virgo has a couple of things that you want to be aware of. One is that it's the higher part, is that it's the indication of service and how you can be of service to humanity at this time, which is why you're here. Everyone signed up for this job. So you are here to be in service of humanity. So you each have skills that are very unique to you. So it's time to do some deep soul diving about how you can most be best of service to humanity at this time. Maybe you're a teacher healer person. Maybe you're working in the public sphere of communications, where you have a lot of public expression with the public. Maybe you're working with family or your family, and you have some very important jobs that you're doing regarding your family that can branch out in ways you can't even imagine. But whatever your specialty is, and whatever place you are in your life right now, you need to think, how can I best serve humanity? What are my talents? What am I called to do? And what brings you joy? What is it that you feel really comfortable doing? I know we have a lot of healers here. I keep saying that just because we have so many, but everyone here has things that they're talented in. So you need to really give some thought to how you can best develop that. And the other side of Virgo is kind of the opposite polarity, is the part that is anxiety and worrying. And this can happen with Saturn together with Neptune in Pisces. That can make you a little bit worried and maybe depressed. This is what you need to avoid, because you need to approach this with positivity and sure that if you follow the path that you feel is your sole purpose, because this is your theme that you're exploring, whatever that is, the universe will support you in that. So you need to have complete faith that everything will work out perfectly, and you need to be filled with joy and hopefulness and belief in the future, because at this time it's hard for us if we look around and see the National Guard or military or Putin in Alaska, etc. All this stuff is very what it's intended to be, which is a distraction. It's intended to be a distraction, but we don't need to be distracted from our mission right now. So you can observe all those things, but don't let them rain on your parade. Okay, don't, because you go full speed ahead, because if you enter that dimension, you're on the other team. So you've switched over and you're now playing for the other team if you are in that area. So you keep yourself centered with your full focus, knowing with faith, and that's the Pisces side, which is faith and inspiration and believing in the hidden agendas that you are going to bring forth in ways that have never been seen on Earth. And they don't have to be like something just shockingly weird, and it could be in the small way. You could be a preschool teacher, and it could be that you have some students there that are special, and you cultivate these people so that they then grow and spread. They spread what you are teaching them out. So you're creating a circle of energy that you're spreading out. It could be something like that. But it could be nurturing someone in your family that's a very special person that is going to really do things for our change of humanity. We'll be working on these changes all the way up to 2050. It's so vast. It'll be an unrecognizable world in a good way. So, but it is important that you feel what it is that is your actual theme and your purpose, and you set some intentions and you get some clarity of purpose, because you will be presented with opportunities. As long as you just stay positive and have, you're not limiting yourself by saying it has to be this way or this way. You keep the focus, knowing what your main joy is in life, what your main focus is going to be, and you will be guided. And always ask for guidance continuously, because your guides are there with you at all times. They love you. They will help you. They will open doors. They'll put you in places so that you can have opportunities. And it's going to be so strong. And I think that all of you are going to be feeling surprised by the things that are going to happen. And this lunation, it's a total eclipse of the moon. On September 7th is the day that it's exact, and it will be used Pisces Virgo axis. So in your chart, wherever you have that, like mine's at the midheaven and the midnight point, I know it's my career is going to be pushed forward at this time in a big way. So see where it is in your chart, 15 degrees. I have Saturn there, so it's going to be total redoing of life, and I'm ready for it. So see if you know your chart, you you will be able to see that. If you want details about your chart, you can email me at my astrology vibrations. That's plural with an S at the end. Vibrations, all one word. Astrology vibrations at Gmail. And with your birth date, a time, place, and date. And then I will send you your chart if you don't have it, and then you'll be able to see where this Virgo Pisces axis is. Mine is from the top to the bottom of the chart. So standing in the world, the career, and inner psychic development at the bottom. So every person has it in a different spot. So the focus of your life might be a little bit different. That is, it will always have the Virgo Pisces axis, but and so the things that we talked about are true for everyone, but the particular focus of it in little details will vary from person to person. And so this is happening September 7th, and I had asked Debra a question about this because the interesting timing of this event is that it becomes exact, and this is Pacific time where Debra and I both live. The timing that it becomes exact is 11:11 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. 11:11, which is the number Debra talked to us about last week in her book. She writes about 11:11, and I was really amazed by what she wrote because it was so perfect. But I was curious, how does this kind of event that has a number like that affect the people as a whole?
I'd love to answer that.
Oh, all righty.
I can wait till you're done or come back.
I think I'm done. I'm looking at some notes that I'm not really sure. I'll look at it and see if there's something I left out.
Okay. There's something. So whenever I see 4 numbers like that, 222, 444, I mean 4 of them, 4 times, it's like an angelic thing. But what you can do, like what specific things are the angels trying to say? So you study the number 1, which is in creativity and uniqueness and new things starting. That's what 1 is. And being first, a little competitive. And then you add up how many 1s are there. And there's 4. 4 is stability, anchoring. So I believe this time that you're talking about is, if you're attuned to it and you have an expectation for it, you will be given an inspirational idea to choose something that will be anchored into the world long term. That's what I feel that would be. So,
wow, that's exactly what I've been trying to say in the whole interpretation of that chart. That is exactly it. And the one thing, as I was looking at my notes here, this is going to be even more amplified because the second eclipse, we have an eclipse season. You may have heard that and say, why does eclipses happen at one time? Well, we have a full moon and new moon twice a month and sometimes more, right? But they're not all eclipses because everything has to be in line on the ecliptic. This is the path of the sun, or this is the path of us going around the sun is in a plane, and the earth and the sun and the moon all have to be on that plane for the eclipse to be perfect. They have to be perfectly on the plane, and to be a little bit off, one or more is a little bit askew, and then it's a partial eclipse. Awesome. So we are going to have another one.
Oh my goodness.
Another one, September 21st. This is going to be a partial solar eclipse, and it will occur in the 29th degree of Virgo and Pisces. So this is they're reinforcing each other. There are 2 back-to-back eclipses in the Mercury, in the Pisces Virgo axis, and we know what those things are. Virgo is service. It is pay attention to detail, organizational skills, and it has to do with your physical health. So this is one thing I wanted to tell everybody. not only are you going to make a plan for your spiritual growth, that's the Pisces part of the axis, but also your physical health. So I want everybody to be do an analysis of what it is you need. It may be a change of diet or more exercise or more sleep or something, so that you can get this together. And one of the things that everybody is going to need is breath work, because breath work is the center of meditation study or good health in your sleeping and generally for your physical well-being and balancing your chakras and everything. But I want to remind everyone of the what is called the 4-7-8 breath, which has been scientifically proven because it's been used by the CIA and the military. When men are out in the field, like in a war zone or something, they needed a way to get people to get some rest, to get some deep rest in a short amount of time, like be able to fall asleep in 2 minutes, even if you're in a middle of a war zone with bombs falling around you. That's hard. So they found this is the very best method for calming yourself down from stress and for also getting energy that's revitalizing, refurbishing, and healthy. And this is good for any time it stimulates the vagus nerve, your pineal gland. So if I count down 4, 3, 2, 1, and that's on an inhale. So you're inhaling 4, 3, 2, 1. Then you hold it, and I count 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now you stop holding the breath and you exhale with your mouth open to 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So 4 on the inhale, 7 on holding, 8 on the exhale, and I count down rather than counting up. That, and it really helps you. 4, 7, 8. So if you're at 4, then you jump to 7. If you were at 7, you jump to 8. 8 goes back to 4, and you won't get lost. You won't wonder where are you. And if you do, so what? You just pick it up and start over. You're not having an exam at the end of the period, but that is a very good start for you to begin this new life, that you do that at bedtime or anytime you're under stress or need a little pickup in energy, refurbish. You do a little bit of that. It's supposed to be seconds, but if it's too long for you, you can count a little faster to make it comfortable, whatever's comfortable for you.
Okay, thank you very, very much. I've got a few comments that came in that I want to go through. And thank you, Marby, for the, I got the donation.
Mhm.
So I would definitely take yours first. What are you talking about?
Thank you, Maria, for writing down 4, 7, 8 in the comment. I should have written that down so everybody could see it, and you did it for me. Thank you. Start 4, inhale, 7, hold, 8, exhale. Inhale through your nose.
Okay.
Exhale through your mouth.
Awesome. Because Charlie says, I had a reading with Lalit, and she is amazing, not only but kind but wise. Such important information. I have it recorded.
Thank you, Charlie. I do record everybody's reading because you want to go back to it. Something you might make sense later, further on. You need to keep it.
Right. And S. Steele says, I'm with you, girl. I feel like astrology is a topic I have the least amount of understanding about under the metaphysical umbrella. I know.
Sign up for a reading, and you'll be on your way, because the best way to learn astrology is through watching how it evolves in your own chart, and then you really get it.
So if you do email Lalit, which is astrologyvibrations.com, no, .com, not .com.
There is such a thing, and it's actually going to be working.
But at gmail.com. So just email her directly with that information, and she'll send you a lot of information about yourself. So she's very generous.
And you don't have to sign up for a reading to get the general information, which I sent you as an ebook. So lots of pages of information about your chart, and that's totally free. Totally free.
So we've got Maureen that says, I love the way Lalit explains astrology. She helps me understand it better. Yes, she
Thank you.
And here we go. My favorite, Anthony. Dear St. Anthony, your St. Anthony request to find the mouse. Dear St. Anthony, please come around. Something is lost and can't be found. So we've got that going on. Lalit is an excellent teacher. We don't want to miss this.
Especially if the cat is stealing your stuff, you need to know where they stash it.
Lalit is an excellent teacher. We want Charlie with
Thank you.
that.
Thank you, Charlie.
And I'm just getting down here. I do have some information for you, S. Steele, about angels. Absolutely. I'm just going to go see if there's another. Oh, yes. So Mary Thornberry said, I heard an astrologer once say that if it wasn't for Virgos, nothing would get done in the world. I agree. I love that. Okay, I have a question. Okay, so now we're down to some questions. Let me go. Yes.
I see a question from Steele, S. Steele. I have a suggestion for this would be for everybody. She says, it's really hard for me to get my breath all the way down to my stomach. It tends to get stuck in my rib cage and then they expand. Now, what you want to do is practice lying down on your back with your knees up and put your hands on your tummy. And so your hands will be here. And then when you breathe in, just move your hands will move out as you're on your tummy and the breath comes in, your hands will move out. They're over your belly button. Your ribs should expand as you inhale. All singers go, that's a singer's breath, ribs expanding. So your ribs want to expand and your diaphragm. But so just to make it simple, just lie on your back, put your hands on your belly, and when you breathe, make the breath push your hands up. And then that's how you get it lower. And it'll become natural after you do that.
All right, there we are. Okay, and all right. So let's go with Marby first because she gave a wonderful donation. I appreciate that. General reading, please, and thank you. And you know how I do general readings. I take my cards, and the very first card out is going to tell me what topic Spirit wants to talk to you about.
I left some cards in the other room. I'm going to go get them.
Yeah.
Be right back.
You know, and I think
them.
I remember she's talking. She doesn't know we're hearing. Marby, I think last time, I'm not sure. I should ask everyone, if you're asking a question, you were here last week, how did the week unfold for you? Was it in alignment with what was said or not? And I believe last week, Marby, if you were here, I started out with a spiritual card, one of the major arcana. So we're talking about the spiritual from the octaves of integrity and morals and ethics. And Spirit is saying that there might be something in your life now that you're focused too much on. In other words, you know that I'll have a nagging thought that comes back in, a negative nagging thought, and I have to hum or whistle Dixie or clap my hands or something, or turn on a movie. I don't know what I have to do sometimes, but it looks like what's happening or has happened or will happen really this next coming weeks, we do 1 week, is that there's someone I think is in alignment, an older woman that might make you unhappy. You don't have tolerance for her. And you don't have to have tolerance for her. You just have to recognize that it's part of an agreement somewhere, somehow, when it comes back around, that you get to choose how to be. And Spirit is asking you to pause and have grace. So a two of swords, please pause. And then we have Strength card, grace under pressure. The cards prior to that told me that there might be a disturbance in the force. Reverse Moon, which is deception. Reversed Seven of Cups, which would be thinking too much on one thing. This is upright, means you're all over the place. But this reversed means that you are focused really intensely on one thing, something that bugs you with this woman, the reverse Queen of Wands. So it looks like there is a warning, but unlike other times I've read like this, it looks like Spirit is saying, bravo, it looks like you're going to choose a path of brilliance, of peace. And so that's what's kind of fun about readings. What did you get, my dear?
A quick message from Marby. She's going to have a new answer of what to believe. Her spiritual realm is going to open up into an unknown formal area, and some of this is going to come through in dream awareness. So your dreams are going to open a door for you into spiritual awareness that is completely new thing for you. So get a dream journal ready. And some of this breakthrough can also happen in meditation and in, you know, that kind of state, but in altered state when you're not. Yeah. So
awesome.
New.
Bless you, and leave you with that, my dear. We've got Sue Toffee here. Oh, Sue Toffee, help. Sometimes I am scared. I'm in fear. Absolutely. That's part of the human condition, my dear, because we said yes to the third dimensional reality, which means we can't predict the future, mainly because on this particular dynamic, on this particular earth, in this reality, there are parallel earths where you decide your future prior to incarnating. That's called a parallel. And so it's like making all your decisions before you incarnate, and then you just go on the ride. In this scenario, however, we need to make choices. And when we're occupied with the future, being upset about the future, it means we're living in the future, and we have no control of that. However, I want to bless you with the idea that you're absolutely fine. There's, you know, this is part of the human condition. And the trick is to try, try your best not to get that cortisol up where you're in fight or flight. And so distract yourself with something that helps you cope. And that's what I would suggest that you do. But I want to do your card too.
So, amen to what you said about that. And for everybody, we were talking about your health and your spirituality. They go hand in hand, you know, because we're on a body. We have a body, and we have to take care of that so we could be more spiritual. So you need exercise, diet, and stuff and whatnot. But on the topic of when you're experiencing fear, and everyone does, it doesn't mean that you're, it just means you're human. Everyone has fear. When you get it, though, you can't dispel it by worrying about the fear. You have to go to something, you know, if there's darkness, the candle will dispel the darkness. So when you have fear, anxiety, go to something for which you're grateful, really grateful, or for what you really love, and have a couple of anchors that will take you immediately into that zone, and that'll dispel it. And then you say, okay, I feel better.
The cards come out to where it looks like in the next week or so, and I do this all the time, girl, I tell you. So I have the Three of Cups reversed. That means if it's upright, it means a social activity, getting together with friends, something like that. It is reversed, but it doesn't mean it's not available. I think what Spirit is asking you to do is to call a friend and let's go out and let's have some fun, because, and I say that because you're ready to relax. The Four of Swords is a rest after a long battle. So it's like exhaling. Maybe even prior to throwing these cards, we told you that it's absolutely fine to be in fear, but to kind of relax. We're all in it together. We're all going to be fine. Maybe that's at the moment when you said, okay, I'll let go of this fear for a moment. And it's reflected in the cards right now. Your home life is fine and secure, it looks like. And don't worry about what others say. I've got a couple of court cards reversed. That doesn't mean they're bad people or troublesome people. It just means that you're, in general, not trusting people with your heart, not trusting people with your feelings. You feel a little sensitive and fragile. And And so that's all right to hang, not hang around with a lot of people, but Spirit is asking you to maybe give someone a call and maybe actually leave your house and go somewhere. Oh my gosh. What do you think? It sounds like it looks like
I was thinking, because I was reading Mary Thornberry's she said a saying, for fear is a lack of confidence and confidence is a lack of fear. I think that is a good saying. However, and we do have fear. We do have it. And if you pretend we don't have it, then you're not being quite honest. So I like the idea of just put it aside for a minute, and you're going to focus on love and gratitude, and then that fear is no longer active. It's no longer.
Yeah, and pet your kitties.
Pet your kitties.
That's the thing when you pet your pets.
No petting kitties for they're in the jail. They're in jail for a week a day for stealing my mouse.
But that's when you touch something consciously, not just absent-mindedly. You touch and brings you back to the moment, and it will help you process that, my dear. All right. And we will go on with SR. SR, here we are. A love reading, of course. I'm going to do this a little differently. There we go.
I get the Two of Cups and Four of Wands.
Yeah.
That can't be that looking good for you, girl. Isn't it nice to have something different for a change?
I know. I did the same thing.
Both Venus and Aries, Venus and Cancer. This is where we have today Venus and Jupiter in Cancer. This is looking. You do have a future. You do have future happiness.
Yeah.
Be confident in that and let it come to you instead of worrying about it and pushing it away. Okay, don't worry about it. Don't think about it. It's there. You have to be in that dimension. You can't have love if you're not in the dimension of love. You can't solve any problem that you're not the vibration of, remember? So you have to keep focused like that, because if you're worried about it, you're pushing it away.
I got to tell you, I've got the three of Cups, which is being social, having a good time, and the Nine of Wands, which is defending your position. Now, I like this combination for you because maybe before you would lose yourself in someone by having them lead the way. This time it's not that way. It's like you've recovered from that, and you will, I think this person might like what he sees. So everything looks quite nice. I wish you all the well. I know it wasn't, last week was a kind of a soft week for that, but this week looks like there's something going on. So I hope that hits you well. Maureen, S. Steele, I have you next, and then Maria and Monica and Mary. So hang in there. Maureen, of course. So the first card out is a major card. So we're talking about ethics, morals. I do have the Two of Cups saying that there's, there is the Two of Cups indicates that there's someone in your life you're quite close to you, that you don't feel a victim of. Now I think they scorned you before, but I've got the reversed 10 of Swords. Upright means, somebody stabbed you in the back, threw you under the bus or whatever. We've got it reversed today. So that means I think bygones will be bygones. I think there's a new energy these days coming around with the Empress, and new energy with the Page of Cups. So I feel that I had a miracle happen just last week. As a matter of fact, someone I haven't seen or heard from in over 35 years texted me, DM'd me, and sent pictures of 35 years ago when we knew each other. That was a miracle. There's been absolutely no contact. And so last week there was contact. No hassling over what said, but nothing like that. Just had a wonderful conversation. So,
I got cards for Maureen.
got it?
Little idea. Maureen, it is time for you to receive blessings. So you're going to receive blessings. Time to receive blessings. And yes, to say yes to the receiving.
Yeah.
So time to receive blessings, but you have to be receiving them by saying, yes, I am ready to receive these blessings. So open your heart up, because the blessings are going to shower upon you. You just need to be ready to open to receive those blessings. Sometimes for people that are loving and giving, they feel guilty to receive. Debra, I'm not talking to you, but just saying.
So funny. You're so oh my gosh. So Estiel, so here's your information, everyone else's information. So quite drawn to the concept of angels. Do they have a message for you? Yes. So I'm going to give you a message from the angels, but I also want to introduce you to sacred scribes, and you have to type in index. And I'm going to share my screen because this Joanne lady took every number she could think of. I mean, to, I don't know, 1,000 or something like that, or even more, over 1,000, and assigned an angel meaning to it. So it's pretty interesting. But I'm going to show you what the website looks like, because I think it's a WordPress, and it's got a lot of ads on it, and I've had a hard time finding it, so I'm going to show it to you. Hold on. I might have to remove you to show it. Uh-oh. There we go. So can you see where it says angel numbers, Joanne's Sacred Scribe? So make sure you type in that, Joanne's Sacred Scribes, and then I add the word index. And as I scroll down, there's a lot of ads on this, as you can see. But if you scroll down, you will be able to see how many numbers she has. And you just click on a number, 339. I just saw 339. And let's see what it says. Okay, 339. And it's the manifesting number. So she goes into a lot of that, the ascended man. So anyway, it's a wonderful way to, what all of this means is that it's a wonderful way to talk to spirit, create a language between you and spirit. So if you have a number that you feel is interesting, look it up there. You don't have to study numerology. And start there and see and then start trying on the information. And because if you're able to pick up what they're putting down, if you're able to notice the numbers in the world, that could be your language with spirit. I've got to X out of this.
I just want to say regarding, yes, your angels have a message for you, and they always do. And they're always kind of guiding you. They do not want to push you into something, but rather gently show you that there might be a way over there. Hey, look at that. Doesn't that look interesting over there? They'll show you a way to lead you and let you need to take the initiative yourself, but always ask. And on the top, you mentioned the word manifestation. Debra, I wanted to add to what I said about astrology. This time is we were talking about combining the body and combining the spirit. And in reality, this is the essence of manifestation, because you are bringing spirit into the physical realm and you are manifesting it. It is the most intense time for that ever. Really, really great time for manifestation. So everybody, set your sights.
And another thing is that I've got the World, which means you have completed something, you're ready for something new. And then right after that's the High Priestess. So that is your spiritual work. Moving into calmer waters regarding everything earthbound, including family and who you are in the world with your tribe. A lot of opportunities are going to come your way, not all of them based in reality, not all of them needing to be explored, but you're going to have that feeling. This is the most creative card in the deck because it opens yourself to the muse. And so don't worry about what you're studying needs to be of value or carry weight in the world. Just follow that fascination, wherever it might take you.
Yes, that's
true. Big word for you.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
You got Maria. Can I receive a message from my guides on the current situation? I don't know what TIA is.
I don't either.
So I'm just going to ask Spirit to give you a message. Since there's no information. Okay.
Well, while you're looking, I got 3 cards here that are interesting. So, Maria, I'd say that you're spreading yourself a little bit thin. You've got so many different things going on in all these areas, and a lot of the involving communications and technology. You're doing a lot of things, doing really a lot, but you do have in mind to change the world, and the times they are changing, but don't keep the inner peace as your center. Everything has to radiate out from this heart center of peace and love. And that will take care of it. Don't get too scattered. Go back to your center of peace and love, and everything will be centered.
And as you know, both Lalit and I give private sessions, so that might be what you might need. I'm not sure, but I have the death card reversed, meaning that you have not let go of something that's been dead for a while. So there's something you're hanging on to that really needs to be, because death is like a natural ending to something, maybe someone. And not letting go of that means that you're new thinking, new thoughts. The Ace of Swords reversed means you're not getting any new information coming in. I've got the 7 of Swords saying it's almost like things aren't moving forward. You're feeling less steady on your feet type of thing. But the most impressive card here is the reversed High Priestess. She was upright just a minute ago. Now she's coming in reversed, meaning that whatever situation you're in right now, also with the reverse 6 of Swords means kind of rocky waters. Whatever situation you're in right now, it looks like you need to back up a little bit farther from the situation to really be the observer instead of inside of it, is my best guess for you. So best of luck on that. I'd like to see some feedback on that. May I have a message from my guide, Monica? Yes, of course you can. First thing out, everybody here. Oh, Monica, I have 3 major cards for you right now, which means Spirit is like really in love with you. So I've got the Lover's card, the Emperor card, and the Hanging Man all upright, which means whatever you've been doing, keep it up. You know, when you have a conversation with your angels or you get this impulse to do something, keep it up. You are in the, and if there's anything to do with money, trust your instincts. Now, this doesn't, because I have pentacles after that. It doesn't mean just money, cash money, as you know. It's all tangible things. So your spirit is saying that you are thinking, you have right thinking. So trust yourself coming up this week. You're right on, man. Right on.
I get a lot of cards that reflect the things we were talking about at the beginning, how things are speeding up, and the idea of Mercury. This is Mercury in Sagittarius, which is similar to Libra in that they're both interested in legal things, but in justice. And but this is a card titled Swiftness. So you are moving fast, girl, and you have things that you are leaving behind. This is Mars in the Tower form. So you're with Sagittarius. You're not afraid to leave a situation that is no longer serving you, because you are not in the vibration of, you have changed your vibration, and you have to leave those behind that haven't changed theirs. And so you're not afraid to do that, and you're leaving on the fast train. So these are all related to quick moving. And so this is
That's awesome.
get out fast. That's me in my head.
So this is interesting because Mary was saying that she doesn't always see numbers, but she'll see shapes. Different geometric shapes. And so, and that's a lot like when someone sees a number or sees something that draws their attention. Let's say it's a bird that seems brighter than any of the other birds. It's like Spirit says, look at me, look at me. And you think it's, oh, this is such a blessing, this beautiful bird looking gorgeous. And then you need to say, what does this mean? Are you speaking with me? What does this bird symbolize? What would you like me to think of when I see this beautiful bird? And then wait for the answer. That's how you would continue and start moving into language, the alphabet of speaking with Spirit. So when an impulse comes in, say, okay, when I see that bird, I just had this feeling, this impulse to that my dog needs attention. I don't know, I'm making that up. But let's say that's your first thought. Then you go home and give your dog that attention. And that dog is going to respond in a new and different way, connecting you with Spirit and the dog. You see what I'm saying? How it grows into a language. That's how you work with Spirit.
You know, Mary, geometry, like in astrology, the triangle is the shape that is the most fluid energy moving. And in terms of manifestation, it's the triangle that brings Spirit into the earth plane. And so there are some fascinating books on Amazon, so I'll shop around carefully so you get a good one that deals with sacred geometry. And it's a fascinating topic. So the triangle is the beginning of manifestation, and it forms into a Merkaba, which is the triangles all put together in a 3-dimensional shape. In fact, I have that as my logo because the Merkaba is a way of putting triangles together in a way that brings Spirit into the earth plane. And so go look at Amazon for some sacred geometry. You'll be in heaven. You'll love that.
Oh my gosh, I'm just catching up with the regular comments. We're out of time, but oh my gosh. And Reversed Images is here. Hello. She's going to be one of our greatest numerologists. She is really diving into a numerology, and she's just, I'm so excited.
I missed the name that you said. What name did you say? Who are you talking about?
Reversed Images.
Reversed Images.
Yeah, yep. So I haven't been able to catch all of the comments because I was in the start giving readings and things, but I'm so grateful you came, and I'll help you write your book reversed. Keep me posted on that. That's great. I started seeing shapes and listening to Andromeda light language. Oh, interesting.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is interesting. Wow. That's an interesting thing too. So we're going to say goodbye for the week. We'll be back next Friday. We thank you for the donation, Marmy. I really appreciate everybody who helps me through here. I am absolutely I'm a chapter and a half from actually finishing my book, and then of course the edits come and all the other stuff has to happen, but it's close. It's I'm getting close, and then I'll be back on more regularly. So do you have anything to share with everyone? Do you have something coming up this week?
Not really. I'm working full steam ahead. There will be an exciting, I'm building up for a newsletter that I'd like to send out to each of you, talking about the things in more detail that we talk about each week, and like little calendar and how you can relate it to your own chart that you can get in email. So I'm working on that and working on my website, and I got a big notepad of downloads. I'm writing furiously, and I have ideas for music for children. I do educational music for children, education through music for kids.
That's great.
Basic math, reading, and stuff like that. Good stuff.
She's really wonderful. As you've heard her sing, she's one wonderful singer. So we will bless you and leave you with that. Be good to each other, be good to yourselves, and we'll see you next week.